So I got pregnant at age 37 years old with my first child, and there were so many things that I just did not expect. Buckle up and get ready because I am going to be sharing all of the nasty bits I've experienced during 9 months of pregnancy. My mood during pregnancy was just amazing. Everything was... I was pregnant during the height of COVID, like when we were all quarantined at home, and it felt like the world was ending by everything that was going on, not only in the world, in the news, out your front door, everything. But I kid you not, this was the happiest time of my life. I just turned off the television and enjoyed my pregnancy, my space, my family. And I often would tell the doctor, we need to take whatever chemical is going on in my brain and bottle that up. And he's like, that's why they have Xanax. Okay, whatever. But I was seriously the happiest I've ever been in life. No morning sickness. No morning sickness. You heard right, no morning sickness. Now, I did vomit like 2 times during my pregnancy, but most of the time, I just had a very heightened sense of smell. Like, I could literally smell a bee fart. And with smelling everything, it did make me super nauseous. And things that I did eat once before, I just could not eat. And I ended up losing 25 pounds in my first trimester. But yes, I did gain it all back plus more. Gestational diabetes. It was the worst. It was the absolute worst. Because of my age, I was at a high risk for gestational diabetes, and this is pretty much where your pancreas cannot build enough insulin within the body. And I hate needles, and I had to prick myself after each and every meal and log it in so I can turn it into my nurse dietitian. It sucked. And yeah. Swelling. The swelling is awful. Like, this was the absolute worst, and it wasn't due to high blood pressure, they said. It hurt to stand, it hurt to walk, I had to keep my feet elevated, and shoes no longer would fit me. Like, the swelling, I tell you, went from my knees all the way down to my toes. It felt like my skin would tear, and I can sometimes just hear the gush, gush, the fluid every time I took a step. It was awful. Look at these little art teacher shoes my mom had me wear. They're the only things that would fit. Before pregnancy, I wore a size 6. After pregnancy, I now wear a size 7. Appetite. Yummy, yummy. I actually lost 25 pounds during my first trimester because the smell of everything just made me sick. Made me nauseous. I ate a lot of Jell-O, fruits, vegetables, soups, peanut butter and jelly. Second trimester, I was starting to gain more of an appetite, but because of the gestational diabetes, I would have to take on a new diet. The new diet that I had to go on during my 3rd trimester due to gestational diabetes was the Jovanovic diet. I worked with a dietitian so I had to send my dietitian logins every week with what I was eating, and then from there she would tell me, hey, keep doing this. Heartburn, indigestion. Oh my gosh. I'm in so much pain, even a year later. I could not fully lay down on my back. I would always have to be propped up at an angle because of the acid reflux. I took Tums like they were M&Ms. I was afraid that my baby was going to come out green or white because I drank so much Mylanta. But with this Pepsi Complete, this took away everything instantly. Sleepy time. Sleeping on my back was a big no-no, not even an option. I always had to sleep off to the side and using this G pillow along with like 3 other pillows. But nighttime was the worst time for me because it just gave me plenty of time to think, and then I couldn't really sleep on top of that because of the horrendous acid indigestion. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about. Guess I didn't fall into that category of pregnant women that were more turned on. To me, it was just the same. But you are going to have to get really creative with your positions, ladies. Body temperature. Gosh, I'm always hot. Like, why? Why? So it's a little known fact that when you are pregnant, your blood supply has doubled, making your body a lot warmer. So ladies, keep drinking up all those fluids.
Eh? What you say? I didn't hear you. Tinnitus.
So I've been suffering from tinnitus for the past 10 years. And it's just a constant heartbeat that I hear in my right ear. But when I got pregnant and throughout my pregnancy, it just stopped. But it's back now. My existing fibroid grew and grew into the size of a tennis ball. I already had a pre-existing fibroid that was about the size of a large grape, but because of my hormones during pregnancy, that grape grew into the size of a tennis ball. And yes, it was trying to compete with Miss Vivien while giving birth. So after 12 hours of labor and nothing happening, still at 1 centimeter, which is a Cheerio, they went ahead and just gave me the C-section. Headaches, y'all. Oh, how I suffered through some headaches for 9 long months. I've suffered from migraines pretty much my entire life, so the doctors prescribed me this self-fully device rather than taking harmful medication.
Let's talk about the good and the bad about eating ice while pregnant. Oh, how I loved it.
Oh my gosh, so good. Truly carried a canister of ice with me everywhere I went throughout my entire pregnancy. I could not get enough ice, especially from Chick-fil-A and Cookout. Darling, I need to go to the masseuse. I am in extreme pain all over my body. You know, I had heard about COVID back in the fall of 2019 from my students in China. But it made its way over here to the States, and soon, March 26, 2020, that's when the state of North Carolina was placed pretty much on lockdown. It was illegal to go and eat in any restaurants, pretty much do anything. We had a stay-at-home order. So I couldn't go out if I wanted to. I couldn't go to any Lamaze classes. I couldn't get any massages. I couldn't do any group activities for pregnant women because we were all pretty much trapped at home. So it was pretty much a touch and go, learning everything off of the internet or from the doctor's visits. And I just felt all alone, except for Facebook. Like, I joined some groups, and that really, truly helped.
I don't know about you, but I need to find me some maternity wear. Oh, it ain't been good. It has not been good.
Okay, let's talk about maternity wear because I was very disappointed. You know, years ago you just couldn't help but see different maternity stores. But when I became pregnant, there was not one to be found here in my city. I ended up going to a consignment store which specialized in maternity wear, Because I gained so much weight and losing so much weight, along with not being able to go anywhere due to lockdown, there was really no reason to go out and buy like a lot of things. I splurged on maternity bras and went to Victoria's Secrets and just got like a size large. But I did wear a lot of leggings, sweatshirts, some loose dresses, as well as pajamas.
Braxton Hicks? What are those? I know I suffered from them. Ugh.
So Braxton Hicks are pretty much false labor contractions. I got them my second and third trimester, and it felt as if my rib cage was just opening. It felt like it was expanding, and it was the worst pain, and I felt like I was going into labor. However, it only lasted for about 5 to 10 minutes at a time, and then it would go away.
Memory. Oh, my memory.
I was that lady that forgot what I was going into a room to get and leaving keys actually in the fridge, just like this picture here. It was the worst.
Skin and hair. Oh, let's not forget the nails. Yes.
Taking these prenatals along with so much water I was consuming throughout the day, my nails grew and would not crack like they usually do underneath water. My hair grew like 3 to 4 inches and my skin just glowed. However, I did grow moles.
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yes, I suffered from carpal tunnel syndrome in both of my wrists from the ending of my second trimester all the way until 2 to 3 months after having Vivien. Now, all this is just your hormone levels triggering fluid retention, which can cause swelling. The swelling is pushing up against that median nerve, which causes carpal tunnel. You know, there's nothing that you can do to prevent this. There's nothing that you can do to stop this. You can try physical therapy, you can try splints as I did, but you're just going to have to endure it. So sorry, ladies. If you're thinking that you can just exercise your hand daily with a stress ball, don't do it, girl. Do not do it. It's not going to do anything. It's going to make things worse.
My beautiful, beautiful pregnant belly. I love it.
I've always been very self-conscious about my weight, especially my stomach area, but this pregnant belly this is the most beautiful I have ever felt in my entire life. This pregnant belly that's growing life.
Let's talk about them teefuses.
Back in early fall, late summer, I was flossing and part of my tooth just popped out. I went into the dentist, yes, while pregnant, and got a crown done. But I was having so much pain still, then entering into my third trimester. And I had to go back into the dental office and get a root canal. If I hadn't gone to the dentist, then Vivien's health, life, along with my own, would have been put in jeopardy. And you're also going to need special permission from your OB in order to go to the dentist.
Boobs. Feet. Stretch marks.
Due to pre-existing injuries that I had received back when I was 20 years old, it made it extremely hard to carry throughout the pregnancy with the extra weight. You see this mark right here? Yeah, that's the extent of my stretch marks. Lucky girl. And as far as boobs go, they're a lot squishier now, but still firm, but squishy.
Mobility. Let's talk about how I walked here, there, everywhere, all around while pregnant.
Due to the pre-existing injury that I had received back when I was 20 in the Army, it made it extremely hard to walk around with all of this extra weight, especially with my feet, my ankles, my knees, my hips, my back. I seriously walked around like a penguin.
I guess this is what I'm going to look like when I get older. Yep.
My goodness, Mommy, you went through all of that?
All in all, I would do it all over again. You are the greatest gift, and I just absolutely love being your mother.